So I guess the title is already clear, how we unplugged EV chargers from the internet. I'm Chris Cardé, the founder and CEO. We are a Munich-based EV charging technology company. And our story starts all the way back in 2017. I brought my first plug-in car home to a city center apartment in Munich and couldn't install charging. So we really started off with the mission to address that dramatically underserved niche, and we kind of just did the obvious thing. We built a vertically integrated proposition, we built a backend, we built an app, we integrated the installation, sales, energy, and like any startup, we were off to the races. We had our MVP, we went to pilot, and we realized, wow, we actually may not have solved the big problem. And that big problem, as we realized, was that I'm just telling you my time is up on my slides. I hope that's not actually true. I think we had more than 30 seconds, so I'm going to keep going. We basically realized that the mobile app experience is kind of broken when you are in an underground parking garage and you're lacking connectivity. And we started to kind of peel back those layers a little bit, looked deeper, and saw that the connectivity was really driving a ton of challenges when it comes to setting up the site, getting all that infrastructure in, orchestrating the communications, the telecommunications connection, all the people, all the planning required to do that, that was all translating into cost. And so we just kind of realized, actually, as you step back and look at EV charging in all kinds of environments, everything from single-family homes to multi-user environments to public charging, kind of in general, these issues echo across, and it kind of breaks down into reliability and cost in every case. We can give anecdotes about the ways we see reliability and cost problems in all of these environments. But I hope you believe me if you're here that these are problems, and that led us to develop a solution. We call that solution Secure Charge, and this is our patent-pending system to, unplug chargers from the internet. And we do that by relaying data through our own users running our own mobile app. And if you're keeping track, this basically solves two problems at once. That charger you see there doesn't need a connection on the infrastructure side, but also the user holding that mobile app doesn't need a mobile network connection when they're standing in front of the charger. This is pretty transformational when it comes to the unit economics, the scalability, and the user experience of EV charging in basically an environment where you cannot control the quality of connectivity. So our US go-to-market lead came up with the best slogan, we use it here, which is, you want 10,000 chargers, not 10,000 internet connections, and we solve that. So you might assume that actually, we are only just providing that access control and consumption reporting layer. Like a common question we get is, well, what about predictive maintenance? How do you know if there's a problem with the charger? How do you know if a charger is down? And likewise, how do you update, for example, time of use rates or demand response? And the answer is actually, sometimes we skip to say we are a disconnected charging technology just to kind of emphasize that main value proposition. But the reality is, we're actually just not real-time connected, but we do have a bidirectional management overlay, and we basically get the majority of advantages of a directly full-time infrastructure-connected charger, even though we don't have the cost and setup overhead of that connection. So basically kind of reviewing what we bring to the table. We're lowering the cost. I have kind of you probably can't even read it there, but I've got some, graphs kind of showing how we take cost out of 4 different positions over the setup and operational lifecycle of a multi-user site. We dramatically improve reliability for all these site types. And actually, when you think about it, we're actually solving this IoT security problem pretty neatly as well, because you really can't hack a device that you can't reach because you're not within Bluetooth range. And that's actually a pretty neat advantage for us. And finally, just scaling, it's related to how we reduce cost, but we're just getting rid of so many steps in setting up infrastructure that, basically if you have a constrained workforce and you need to electrify a whole world, with this technology, you can do it twice as fast. So how do we productize it? We have both our turnkey platform, and that was kind of like our product for me, day one in my underground parking garage. This is basically sold, actually not to me, but my property manager, and we are selling this in Germany today. We have also developed a reseller network, and we have 7 resellers signed up, 4 countries, 3 continents, who basically use the same collection of hardware and software to operate the business in their respective markets. But we're a lot more excited about providing this technology on a white label basis, either to hardware integrated or software integrated customers. Some customers are both. We'll have some examples later in the deck about how we do this. So on the hardware integration side, we have a little module. We call it our Secure Charge module, and it lets you integrate this technology into any other EV charger with weeks to a small number of months of engineering effort. We do all the hard work, and we bring it in the form of a very low-cost module. Adds 2 digits to your bill of materials, and it basically lets you do this in, like I said, weeks to a month. On the right side of the slide, you see our SDK, and this basically lets you make your own white label app, be that an EMSP app, a hospitality app, you name it. It can be the app that is ferrying the data from our back end to those chargers. So we really let you build your own white label product here. So talking about how we do this is actually our first customer. This is why I like to highlight them. This was Sixt headquarters. We're actually doing their employee charging just outside of Munich in Germany. And I like to highlight it because it was literally our first production site. It's actually more of a pilot site. And the neat thing is we've had 0 reported downtime in the 15 months it's been live. And that's pretty significant. I mean, not only did we basically test with them, it never went down. And that's kind of a testament to the resilience of this asynchronous architecture. It's also never actually happened, but the whole point is, let's say our backend did go down, to our users that would just look like they're underground and they wouldn't even see it. So that's, again, why this is kind of substantial. We're working with a US utility, so let's call them a large utility in the Southeast, and we are integrating our SDK into their EV charging app. And that will actually target any combination of single-family, multifamily, and public charging. That's actually our first example of an integration into a utilities app, and the first application of our SDK in the utility space. And so that's also a very exciting one. And we're also working with a large fuel card provider. Obviously, some of these partners, I can't use their logos just yet. But this is interesting because we actually have 2 ways to work with them. The first is we're actually operating infrastructure in many apartment buildings across Germany, and we have some people with those fuel cards who want to charge their company car on our infrastructure. So we're working to make it possible to actually take those EMSP cards as payment, and we basically become a CPO to the rest of the world, even though we're kind of a private installation. But we actually want to help them improve their core product as well, which is basically deploying chargers to single-family homes, again, to charge these company cars at home. Turns out those reliability and cost problems still exist in a single-family home. In this case, it's more like the customer's Wi-Fi, the password changes, all of a sudden the charger goes down. That's a support issue. The Wi-Fi has to be extended to the parking garage. Again, that's kind of an installation and support issue. We solve all of those really neatly, and we dramatically improve their business case. And the final one I want to talk about here is we have one of our hardware integration partners. This one's actually been publicly announced, so we can actually at least put a logo up there. We're actually integrating our technology directly into ChargeByte's charge control board, and this is going to make it that much easier for folks to build chargers that work with our ecosystem. We're actually also developing a Works with HeyCharge logo so that we can ultimately send our customers for the software integrated solutions directly to our hardware partners. As long as it has the logo, it's going to work with our platform. So just the obligatory logo cloud. I do want to say our team, I don't actually have a detail slide here, but our team brings a ton of experience across the automotive, mobility, energy, and tech sectors. And actually, we've got some logos for customers up there, a lot more that I can't show, but the hot spots for us right now are basically commercial real estate, utilities, mobility, and hospitality. There we go. So yeah, this is our mandatory self-promotional slide. Anyone in the room, probably there's something interesting we can talk about. Obviously, we're looking for customers. If you're an operator, we can basically help you improve the economics of your business as well as provide that offline proposition. We do have basically a playbook for how to even extend an OCPP backend with our Works offline proposition as a premium upsell. We can also work with, like I said, utility and fuel card providers, just as I provided some examples up here. And I just showed you how we can integrate directly into a third-party wall box. But most importantly, we are raising our Series A right now, and also we're looking for great people. So if you are an investor or a great person who wants to work with us, we'd love to talk to you. I think that's it. I'm a little ahead of schedule, but I think the We were behind, so now we're on time.